What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel. All right, we've shown you the 2020 schedule for Texas A&M. Now we're going to give you a projected record for the Aggies based off of their schedule. And I want to be perfectly clear, this is not a prediction, not my official prediction for Texas A&M. It's just a projection based on the schedule, based on the toughness of each game, and the percent chance that I think Texas A&M would have to win each game based off of what each team has coming back, recent history, things like that. Not totally just what I personally think. So here's the schedule, and here are the different percentages we're going with. 99% chance will be green, 80% chance, 60% chance, and 80% chance would be a game where the spread is double digits, more than a touchdown, 10 to 15, somewhere in there. 60% is going to be a game where the spread would be closer to a touchdown, 5, 6, 7, 8 points, somewhere in there. And the 50-50 games are games that would have a real small spread, and games that I could really see going either way. So we start with those 99% chance games, and I think there are 3 pretty easy wins for Texas A&M. This is not perfect because we can't narrow it down to 95% or 90%, but they should be able to take care of business against Abilene Christian and North Texas. Fresno State might be a little bit tougher. They were really down last year. I expect them to be better this year, but still they should not win that game. Texas A&M should be able to take care of business, especially at home. So 3 easy wins should be easy wins for Texas A&M. And then we go to the 80% games. We start with Colorado. Texas A&M, much more talented at home, should not lose that game. And again, I think they'll be favored by double digits. Arkansas is interesting because they play A&M tough every year, it seems like, and we don't know for sure what we're going to get from the Razorbacks, but talent-wise, I think Texas A&M still should be clearly the better team here, and they should be, if they bring their A game, should be able to take care of business. So we're going with 80% there. Ole Miss, a team that could really be improved this year. I was back and forth on 60 to 80%. I just don't know if Ole Miss is going to be quite good enough to compete with Texas A&M, especially at Texas A&M. If the game was at Ole Miss, it would probably be more like a 60% game for me. And again, if I narrowed it down, it probably would be more like 70% than 80%. But we have to use these numbers. And then I think Vanderbilt should also be a win for Texas A&M, a game where they'll be favored by double digits, especially playing at home. All those games at home. Every game we've shown you so far at home. Now we get into the tougher games, the games on the road. So we go to these games where Texas A&M, I think, will be favored by about a touchdown. Games that they should win, or I wouldn't say should win, but they'll be favored in. Mississippi State, we start with that one. The game is on the road, tough place to play. A&M, clearly to me, when you look at these 2 rosters, should be the better team. But it's on the road. You got Mike Leach coming in there. Don't know for sure what we're going to get from Mississippi State. So that's why I put this at 60%. Again, I think A&M favored by about a touchdown. South Carolina, another tough place to play. A team that I don't have a great feeling about them going into this year, but I don't think they're going to drop away. It's going to be horrible. I think they're going to be about the same as they were last year. So, again, playing on the road, never take that for granted. It's always tough to do, especially in the SEC. That's why I'm going to only put that at 60%. So Mississippi State, South Carolina, games that A&M has to be careful with. Now we go to the games that should be, the A&M's actually going to be underdogs in my opinion, and there's really only one where I think they're going to be about a touchdown or more underdog, and that's Alabama. It's on the road. I think this will be a 7-8 point spread, something like that. If A&M was at home, we would swing this to a 50-50 game. I don't know. Alabama should be a lot better on defense this year. A&M, though, they got a lot of young talent. They have a chance to be really special this year, but going on the road to Tuscaloosa, I do think they would be an underdog in that game. So we're going to go with 40% with A&M on the road at Alabama. And that leaves us with 2 games, a road game against Auburn and a home game against LSU. These are the games, if they take care of business against everyone else, all the games they're favored in, they take care of business in those games, and they lose to Alabama, that, not going to end their season, but let's say they lose to Alabama, this is their shot. If they can beat Auburn and they can beat LSU, they've got a chance to go 11-1. Probably not going to get them to the SEC championship unless Alabama loses 2 games, but that could happen. Alabama has to play Georgia this year, so you never know. but still 11-1. They're going to be in the playoff conversation regardless of if they go to the SEC championship or not. So these will be the two games. We have a road game against Auburn, one that I could really see going either way. The road teams have actually done pretty well in this series since A&M has come into the SEC, so maybe that bodes well for them. But Jordan-Hare is a very tough place to play. So to me, that's a game that could go either way. If I had to put a number on it right now, I'd say Auburn, probably favored by 2. I mean, it would be very, very close. And then you have LSU at the end of the season. LSU kind of owned Texas A&M until a couple of years ago when they had that crazy overtime game. And it's back at home for A&M. LSU lost a lot. I mean, they lost a lot. But did they lose so much that they could potentially lose this game, a team that they dominated last year? I don't know. It's tough to say right now. Probably going to favor LSU by 2 or 3 points if you had to ask me right now. But by the end of the season, A&M could be a team that is actually favored in that game, especially playing at home. But their projected record based off of all these numbers, if you add all the percentages up and then divide it by 12, it comes out to be 8-4 for A&M. So they would finish 8-4, better than last year, but not what they're hoping for this year. You look at some of the other teams we've done in the SEC, the top number's 9-3. So it's almost like 9-3 is more like 11-1. So 8-4 would be more like 10-2, just because of the way these percentages add up. I mean, you have a bunch of 80% games, but you keep adding them up, and eventually the percentages are going to say that you'll lose one of those 80% games. So that's why it's not a prediction. It's not a perfect projection, but it just kind of gives you an idea of, against their schedule, what Texas A&M should do this upcoming 2020 season. Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.